topic for digital banking. At number 2, most of us are quite familiar with the usage of ATM and ATM as a device. What we call ATM in full form, attributed teller machine. If we go in brief history of ATM, this cash dispenser machine is not so new what it appears to be. Perhaps it is almost 55 years ago in 1967, it started working for public service. For many of us, this was the first tangible evidence that retail banking was changing. An introduction of ATM marked down the contemporary digital banking. Contemporary in the sense current digital banking was marked down with the invention of ATM machine. Whenever we are, yesterday only I have asked one question, and to my surprise, I have not received a single reply from you students of finance especially, that when we have to withdraw cash from any branch of nearby our residence, what steps we follow. And unwillingly, without receiving any response from you students, what I have given in explanation, that we go to our nearby branch where we have our saving or current account. Then we fill up the withdrawal slip. Then we are getting one metal token. With that token and withdrawal slip in our hand, we stand up in queue for cashiers to at the window of cashier. When our turn comes, we have to submit both our passbook as well as withdrawal slip with token number. And from cashier, we will be receiving whatever amount of withdrawal slip, and provided we have that much balance in our account, we are getting paid cash. Again, accountant at the cashier's window, sitting at cashier's window, will update our passbook and we will be getting cash, all put together very easily at any given time. It may take 30 minutes or minimum to minimum 20 minutes. These all factors are available and used to have as a general practice in absence of ATM. The very first ATM, what it came to India in 1988, after the invention of ATM machine in Europe and America. And it was of HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. Earlier first usage of ATM was only to withdraw cash and to check our balance, how much it is available. The ATM find its origins in the 1950s and 1960s, when self-service gas station, most of the American or European gas stations have self-service. That means you won't be welcomed by or attended by a petrol pump attendant, fuel attendant, what we call. Whenever we are filling up fuel in our vehicles, we are not using that pipe or nozzle to fill up our vehicles. That is done by someone else at petrol pump. Mostly they are available in blue colored shirt, pant. But most of the American and European countries are having gas stations, or what we say petrol pump. They are saying it as gas station, are having self-service gas stations. And when it comes to self-service gas stations, of course, you have to pay money for gas what you are filling up in your vehicle. And for that reason, to make payment of that gas purchase, they used to have ATMs. Supermarket, automated public transportation ticketing, and candy dispensers were popularized. These all factors are relevant to and have startup of too much crowd available at one particular point, and every other person either in position to make payment or want to receive cash. And this is the situation where people were having stress, whether they are depositing cash or withdrawal of cash, and it was consuming their valuable time. And because of this particular uh, problem, what got recognized by technology, ATM took its birth in the 1950s and 1960s. The first cash machine seems to have been deployed in Japan in the mid 1960s, maybe 1964 or 65. And according to Pacific Stars and Stripes account at the time, but little has been published about it since. Although it's a very high technical success, or what we can say, uh, incident or an invention, what should be noted without fail in history of technology and science, this particular invention is not much known to, or not much noted down by our history, what we say. Now, the ATM, what we call it, are freed. The ATM freed the average consumer from lengthy queues for services that had previously been limited to bank hours. Now, average person has also influenced ATMs, the way they look, the way they work, and their role as a platform for today's plethora of balance inquiry, deposits, transfers, and airtime top-ups in some European countries for pay-by-minute cell phones. These all factors have given us all types of facilities when it comes to banking transactions. That may be balance inquiry, deposit, transfers, etc., etc. All those are relevant to ATM machines. Now, earlier ATM machines were not much having advertises, but these days, before you begin your transactions or at the end of your transaction, certain insurance products, fixed deposits, mutual funds, and other value-added services of your own bank, wherein you are using ATM, they are displayed, and you have to answer yes or no. As they have already your contact number, they later on call you and ask you with reference to your inclination, or uh, saying yes for the service they were asking for from you. So this is what happens when it comes to ATM services. These days, ATMs are very important tool of advertise for banking and financial products also, because it appears to be a computer screen, and most of the time we are individual having privacy and space inside that ATM, and we are spending at least 2 to 3 minutes for withdrawal of cash, deposit of cash, or for that sake any other transaction what we do, like transferring money from our own account to our another bank account, or transfer of fund from our bank account to someone else bank account. So these all factors are playing important role. Now ATM is also used as advertising device or advertising tool in audiovisual medium by bankers to their potential customers. Digital banking products are ATMs. Now within ATMs, what all are the product features, or what all are the services ATM can do? In between, I would like to stop. Students, are you available and am I audible to you? And most of the time, your voice is breaking. What may be the reason? You are at your workplace. I have communicated this problem with Harshali Domse ma'am, and she was also about to have discussion with us in between. Okay. Now, instant money transfer system or instant money payment system IMPS is very important task or banking transaction what ATM can do, and this is frequently used by most of the existing customers, and they are saving their time and effort and avoiding fraud with counterfeit or fake currency. Now, instant money paying system or transfer system, what we say, immediate payment service or IMPs, and instant fund transfer service, it can be used anytime. IMPS can be simply defined as NEFT plus RTGS, non-electronic fund transfer plus real-time gross settlement. Now, in order to avoid fraud complaints, the cap on transaction limit is set very low. And for IMPS transfer, you just need to know the destination account holders instant money payment system ID, mobile identity, and his mobile number, MMID, what we say. What all are the steps followed when it comes to IMPS, instant money payment services? I am making it little easier to see you. We will see step by step what all are the steps followed when it comes to instant money payment system used through ATM, that using your customer ID and password into net banking or mobile banking. Then go to fund transfer tab, other bank account, then select debit or credit account, mode of transfer as instant money payment system and beneficiary account. Enter the amount to be transferred and click on submit. What amount we want to transfer, that we have to enter 500, 1000, 2500, whatever it may be. It is up to you. Then click on the confirm button. If you have typed on account of that small screen or by mistake, instead of as the digits are too near with each other within that small frame, instead of typing 1, if you have typed 4, you can cancel and again you can retype the amount to be transferred. Then you have to finally click on submit. Once you submit the amount what you want to transfer, click on the confirm button whether you want to confirm this transaction or not. And you have to take a thorough analysis. What all are the steps you have followed, what amount you entered, whether you submitted it or you have yet to submit. Once you submit it, you have to press the confirm button. Recheck all the information and approve the transaction using OTP. Now, when we are pressing the confirm button, the next step, what happens, one time password comes to our mobile number, the mobile number which is registered with our bank account, and we have to make use of that one time password and confirm by clicking on the submit button. Now I am explaining these steps of IMPS once again so that you can have it in your memory. Perhaps you have done this transaction personally, but not all students may have done it. On behalf of them, their parent must be doing their fee payment or some other type of expenses. Now what happens? Now what happens when it comes to money transfer? We have to do on instant basis where it is situations demand. We have to make use of our customer ID and password into net banking or mobile banking. Now we have to go to fund transfer of other bank account, and when we are selecting our own bank account and other bank account, from our own bank we have to transfer money to some other bank, that may be some other bank of our own account or someone else account. We have to select debit or credit account, mode of transfer at instant money payment system, and beneficiary account. Then we have to enter the amount. Once we enter the amount, we have to check if the amount entered is showing us correct figure, correct numbers in digits, 4 digits, 5 digits, in thousands, in lakhs, and few in hundreds. Total amount what we have entered, and then we have to click on submit button. After clicking on submit button, we have to press confirm button. Once we recheck all the information and approve the transaction using OTP received on our registered mobile number, we have to enter that one-time password. Once we press the confirm button, and at last by confirming by clicking on the submit button, we have to enter OTP, and last 7th step is to click on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button by entering correct password, that password may be 4 digits or 6 digits, and that one-time password you have to use in first 5 minutes after receiving, first 10 minutes after receiving. You are not supposed to disclose that one-time password to anybody. If you haven't received that one-time password in few seconds or 1 or 2 minutes max to max, we have to request for resending one-time password. And when we receive one-time password, then we have to enter it, and then we have to click on submit button. These all are steps for instant money payment system. Now there are types of ATMs, and the first type is proprietary ATM. Proprietary ATM, whom we call proprietor. Are you all listening me? Whom we call proprietor. Today 10 students are there. I could see here not 10. The way yesterday there were 8 students. I will deliberately stop in between. I want you people to participate. Whom we call proprietor, please let me know. Maurya Chavan, Pratiksha, Jayashri, Nikita, Omkar, Shubhada, Deepika, Chaitanya. Hmm? Yeah, you are giving answers by SMS instead of saying it. Okay, I got your answer. Now, okay. So when we say proprietor, owner, owned by, or the person whose whom that particular thing or property belongs to. Most of the time, proprietor as a word is strongly connected with property. The person who owns the property is a proprietor. Now here ATMs in category proprietary means what? The term proprietary ATM means an automated teller machine, which is located at a branch of the receiving depository institution. SBI Swargate branch or SBI Shivajinagar branch, or very outside of the Shivajinagar branch, head office of entire Maharashtra's Bank of Maharashtra is there. Within that premises, if there is an ATM of Bank of Maharashtra, that ATM is called as proprietary ATM, because bank and ATM of the same bank is in the same premises. Their location is very much nearby. Within the four walls or within that area where banking transactions physically are done. Now, again, there is one more option of proprietary ATM in close proximity as defined by the board to a branch of the receiving depository institute or owned by, operated exclusively for, or operated by the receiving depository institution. Hope you have, hope your doubt or your term proprietary ATM is clear. You must have visited a particular bank like HDFC or ICICI. Once you come out of the bank or entering inside the bank, to your left or to your right, you will find one easily visible ATM. Whether you want to go to that ATM or you want to visit cashier, branch manager, loan department, savings department, that depends on your requirement at that time. So this is what called as proprietary ATM. In some cases, ATMs are proprietary ATMs or those that are owned, operated and serviced by a specific financial institution, commonly a bank. As such, they can only be accessed and used by a particular bank's customer. These are often located inside of a bank. Now, with the money transaction facility made easier for all the banking customers of different banks, private sector, government sector, cooperative sector, whatever it may be. When I am visiting a nearby SBI branch and going into an ATM, what it is called as proprietary ATM, it's not that I am having SBI card only. It's quite possible that I am using ICICI debit card, HDFC debit card, or anything for that matter, any example you can put. Proprietary ATMs do not have any compulsion on customers that as you are in SBI's premises, you should have, hold, possess SBI's debit card. No, I can make use of HDFC debit card also. And this example I can give you when we had currency note changes 500 and 1000 rupees, old currency notes were withdrawn from market, barred for transactions, and 2000 rupees, 500 rupees new currency note came in market. During that time, people were having panic that they will fall short of cash, and there used to be long queues out of ATM. Out of ATM, there were used to have long queues for withdrawal of money. And which particular bank was having the highest amount of cash? Of course, State Bank of India. And most of the State Bank of India's proprietary ATMs were dispensing cash to all the customers who are visiting those branches. So this is what relevant to proprietary ATMs. Now the next type of ATM is brown label. Brown label ATM. What is meant by brown label ATM? Perhaps you have yet to hear such type of terms. So listen carefully what is meant by brown label ATM. Brown label ATMs are those ATMs where hardware and the lease of the ATM machine is owned by a service provider. This first sentence is very much important and you have to understand it carefully. I am explaining you with moderate speed and repeating it twice. Brown label ATM are those ATM machines where hardware and the lease of the ATM machine is owned by a service provider, but cash management and connectivity to banking network is provided by a sponsor bank whose brand is used on the ATM. Now, there are two parties. One is service provider and other one is the sponsor bank. What service provider is doing? Service provider is having hardware, all that setup of ATM of around 6 feet height, then air conditioner, then space, then to protect it from natural environmental calamities or natural environment, they have to have certain fixtures, furniture, electrical point, CCTV, security guard, dustbin. All these things are included in hardware, where hardware and the lease of the ATM machine is owned by a service provider. These all things will be provided by a service provider for one XYZ bank. Now, when service provider is giving hardware and the lease of the ATM, what sponsor bank is doing? Bank is putting their cash into that ATM, and all the facilities what their bank want to give through that ATM, those facilities in software are available with that ATM. So that ATM is called as brown label ATM. The service provider himself takes the responsibility of identifying the ATM site. Whenever you have seen any ATM, you must have seen it at a crowded place, business premises, institutional, educational institutions. You must have seen Central Bank of India ATM within that Sinhagad College of Science and many other colleges, engineering college, MBA college, and junior college, etc., are available within that premises. So identifying ATM site is responsibility of service provider. Service provider will suggest sponsor bank that the walk-in customers, crowd of people, number of people having in count early morning when they are about to leave from their residence to their workplace, and number of customers from this particular point leaving towards their home are in hundreds and thousands. So when we are making available ATM as bank transaction facility for customers, that could have benefit to you. So the service provider himself takes responsibility of identifying the ATM site, negotiating with the landlord. Now there is another party coming into this particular brown label ATM, that is landlord. The place or the premises purchased by one particular party. Negotiate with the landlord, arranging power supply and interior decoration of the ATM kiosk. I have already explained you in first paragraph. The fully operational ATM kiosk will be leased out to the sponsoring bank. Power supply, interior decoration, security guard, arrangement of security guard, and other types of services will be provided by service provider, and bank will have responsibility of cash management and connectivity to banking network. When someone is having withdrawal of 100 rupees, 1000 or 10,000 rupees, whatever amount it may be, when connectivity to banking network is available, that transaction will get recorded in the main branch of that particular bank. Whether the ATM network is situated or ATM machine is situated from the branch at the distance of 3 kilometers or even at 10 kilometers. So this is what relevant to service providers responsibilities The responsibility of maintenance of the leased ATM kiosk remains in the hands of service provider, and the sponsor bank takes the responsibility of cash management and connectivity of ATM to its banking network. The private sector banks like ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Dhanalakshmi Bank, and Ratnakar Bank, which is mostly written in blue color, RBL, Ratnakar Bank Limited, are presently having brown level ATM system. Now, what is the responsibility and main responsibility of service provider? Locating potential site, identifying ATM site for banker, where chances of maximum transaction and with high rupee value transaction is a possible thing. So these all factors are relevant to brown label ATMs. Now, the next type, what we have to look at is white label ATMs. White label ATMs owned and operated by non-bank entities are called as white label ATMs, WLAs. ATMs set up which are owned and operated by non-bank entities, non-banking financial corporation, which is written in this slide. Hope you are knowing it. Any example of NBFC you can give? LIC HFL is an example of non-banking financial corporation. Bajaj Finserv is again an example of non-banking financial corporation. Although they are quite frequently calling potential customers for having loan from them, but their bank as such are not available. Now, brown label ATMs are for banking financial corporations, banks, and white label ATMs are operated by non-banking ATMs. White label ATMs are the ATMs owned by non-banking entities. That may be India Infoline, LIC Housing Finance, Bajaj Finserv. These are examples of non-banking entities. These ATMs do not display the logos of any bank. Bank customers can withdraw money from debit cards, credit cards, prepaid cards issued by the banks at white label ATMs, but they have to pay fee for the service provided to them. They have to pay the fees for service provided to them. Non-bank entities incorporated in India under the Companies Act 1956 are allowed to operate white label ATMs. White label ATMs are like normal ATM. However, cash deposit or cash acceptance facility is not permitted at white label ATM. The difference is this ATM machine does not have any branding of bank. These machines are usually deployed by NBFC. And the basic idea about white label ATM is to increase the geographical spread of ATM to increase financial inclusion. Why NBFCs are having white label ATM? Because they don't have as such any particular banking transaction. They themselves are non-banking and they are charging certain amount for per 1,000 rupees or per transaction, and they are getting money in our emergency for sake of our convenience during late hours of the night. These white label ATMs comes at rescue of needy and badly required customers who want certain amount of cash. So this is what relevant to white label ATMs. The basic difference of brown label and white label ATMs is Ground level ATMs are meant for banking like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank. White level ATMs are meant for non-banking financial institutions. ATM network planning on-site or off-site. Hmm? On-site or off-site. On-site means what and off-site means what? That we will look into. The ATMs which are located at the branch premises are called on-site ATMs. We have seen proprietary ATMs. The same way they are on-site ATMs. And the ATMs located away from the branch is called off-site ATM. Off-site ATMs are generally located at important places like nearby bus stands, railway stations, airports, colleges, marketplaces, etc., which are very useful to travelers and the general public. You are being student there in Pune for last at least 1.5 years. Many of you must be from Pune, residing in Pune for last 5 to 10 years and more than that. If you will have one round of Ferguson College Road, you will come to know that there are n number of ATMs available on that particular road. Pune Station, Shivaji Nagar, Ferguson College Road, these all are most crowded places wherein all banks are trying to have off-site ATMs. On-site ATMs are almost all banks do have within their premises, branch premises. But off-site ATMs, they have to look at the total crowd population within that particular area, within the vicinity of 2 or 3 kilometers. Now, what figures we do have till 31st March 2021, almost 1 year ago? There were 2,13,575 ATMs, 1,15,605 on-site ATMs, and 97,970 off-sites as on March 31st, 2021. So on-site and off-site, hope you got it cleared. Now, security and surveillance of ATM sites is very much important thing. This particular photograph as part of example and for explanation of security and surveillance, I have kept it. Now in Chennai in 2007, not just in Chennai, you must have heard that there were attacks at the security guard and they got assaulted, humiliated, especially those who are having their duty at late night, between late evening at 12 in the night till next day morning at 8 o'clock. And ATMs are not much crowded during these hours. And in such situation, thefts or untoward elements of this society are attacking security guards. They don't know, even if they are asking security guard to open that ATM or to give them password or to what we say, deassemble that particular device. Security guard as such is not so qualified person. He don't know any password. Those all things are kept private, kept secret. He don't know how to open that ATM. Otherwise, security guard would have fled away by taking that cash. But thieves do have this impression. And when security guard is opposing their act of stealing money, he is getting attacked. He is getting assaulted. Now, I am giving you an example here. Axis Bank, India's third largest private sector bank, today announced the launch of e-surveillance facility, a service that allows 24/7, 365 days centrally monitored automated security of ATMs. Automated security of ATMs. Under the e-surveillance facility, ATM premises of Axis Bank will be monitored 24 by 7 from a centralized security operation center. Main branch of Axis Bank within a city will have one operation center, and that operation center will have certain persons appointed for looking after security and surveillance. An immediate alert will be activated in case of detection of any unauthorized activity at the ATM site. Many people try their hand for sake of curiosity, for sake of taking advantage, for sake of what we say, lack of knowledge, lack of technical knowledge, lack of practical knowledge. ATM as a center must be holding lakh 10 crores of rupees. What if we are uh, having an opportunity to grab few thousand or few lakhs of currency notes? This may be their thinking, but utmost security is maintained while having installation of an ATM machine at any particular location. In the event of any unauthorized activity at the ATM location, an immediate footer alert will instantaneously propel a two-way communication between the officials at the security operation center and the alleged intruders through mic, speakers, and CCTV system. Simultaneously, the system would also alert the local police station and nearby on road patrolling officer about the incident. The bank said in a statement, this Axis Bank example I am giving you for security and surveillance of ATM as a subtopic. In further with this subtopic, this initiative underscores the bank's objective of providing advanced security and simplified service to its customer. If any untoward in the event of any unauthorized activity at the ATM location of Axis Bank, they will get informed quick, immediately, instantaneously, and they will have two-way communication between the officials at the security operation center and the alleged intruders. Intruders will also get warning through mic, speakers, and CCTV system that whatever things you are doing at this moment, they are absolutely illegal, and we warn you not to do this. Otherwise, we are informing nearby local police station, and in next few minutes, you will be caught up by them. So these all factors are relevant with security and surveillance. The facility aims to prevent crimes as well as provide an efficient alternative to the bank by taking care of all important activities at the ATMs like monitoring attendance of CRA, housekeeping, check collection agency, and maintenance. Now, e-surveillance also has a reminder facility which helps the bank in avoiding misuse of ATMs, branch premises by even the vendors. Those vendors who are having use of ATMs, they are also given reminder for facility which helps in the bank. Now, the next point after ATM is cash deposit machine. It's another type of ATM what we have personally seen, and we have also availed the facility of cash deposit machine. In cash deposit machine, can you please give me a brief idea what happens when it comes to cash deposit machine? What facility cash deposit machines must be giving? Hmm? Am I audible? Am I audible to all of you? Will you please answer what is meant by CDM? Okay. We will go ahead with this particular slide. Now, those bankers who are either belong to government or private sector and wherein walk-in customers are too much, especially at the cashier's counter, and a main branch of a particular city, district, where maximum number of people do come for having deposit of their cash, and that is specially seen in the first week of every calendar month. Why? Because most of them receive their salary. Those who are salaried employees, those who are getting paid their bills, most of them are having deposit of cash. Now, traditional way of depositing cash, I have already explained you. With the cash deposit machine, what is done? You should have proper, not malign or what we say counterfeit or fake currencies, not too much torn, oily, very old currency notes. You should have currency notes which could be accepted by anybody in simple language. A cash deposit machine allows you to deposit money with just your debit card or account number. You should have both the things with you, debit card as well as cash in hand. Instant money credit any time of the day throughout the week is one of the most remarkable features of the cash deposit machine. You have to visit the branch wherein cash deposit machine is available. Now self-service terminal and doesn't require any bank official. When you are visiting cash deposit machine for the very first time, without anybody's guidance, if you are a literate person, you will come to know how to deposit cash. And that particular transaction, stepwise, if you follow correctly, it takes not more than 3 minutes. If your cash is in lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, and 30 lakhs, that will take more time. But within 1 or 2 lakhs currency notes, 500, 2000, your cash will get deposited in 2 to 3 minutes. Immediately, you will be receiving one SMS to your registered mobile number. You will get one slip stating that you have deposited this much amount of cash to your saving account on this date in this branch with this CDM machine number. So these all factors are there with cash deposit machine. Instant money credit in your bank account. Save time by avoiding queues and skipping form filling process. Form filling process, standing in queue, having metal token, then giving cash to cashier along with passbook. All those things you don't have to do when you are visiting cash deposit machine. Now, receive deposit receipt immediately. This I have already explained you. Not necessary to segregate your denominations. Denominations means what? 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 2000 rupees. All these denominations or currency notes are called as denominations. Denominations means currency notes in quantity. Very simple thing. In finance language, it is said as denominations. Now, what is the features of cash deposit machine? Cardless cash deposit. Only cardless when you have your account number written on a page or by heart to you. Cardless cash deposit you can do. Cash deposit using debit card. Cash withdrawal. The way you can withdraw money from any ATM, you can withdraw cash from cash deposit machines also. Some people do have impression with the word deposit, it means we can deposit only cash. No, CDMs can have cash withdrawal too. Now request account balances and mini statement. This request you can make with CDM. Whether you are depositing money or you are not there to deposit money. But CDM can give you account balance and mini statement. Mini statement of minimum 8 transaction. Last 8 transaction that can give you. This facility of 8 more or less transaction differs from bank to bank. PIN change. You can make your change in your password. Net banking registration. This facility of CDM is available with State Bank of India. Order an account statement or a checkbook. You are getting 20 or 25 leaf checkbook, and there are last 1 or 2 checks available with you. In future, on account of your nature of money transaction, banking transaction, you need one more. Instead of writing application, submitting it in bank, the same thing you can do it at cash deposit machines. This is what we can have as feature of CDM. You can transfer your fund. We can see that all features of CDM are quite similar with ATM. We can have fund transfer from our own bank account to other self bank account, from our bank account to someone else bank account. This is what related to features of CDM. So friends, till this point, if you have any doubt, please let me know. I always like to participate my students whenever I am teaching them. Me just speaking and you just listening, that's not my way of teaching. I insist, or what I mean to say, I do have this particular request to make you all, please be participative. Whenever you are getting an opportunity, you should take part in discussion what is happening. If you are at your workplace, please let me know what is your problem. We have last 3 minutes to complete. It's 6:57 in my clock. Please unmute. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now, why you are replying so late?
Traveling purpose.
But you should be at one location where you can hear carefully. While driving, how come you can pay attention? One of you is driving. What about the others? I have gone through one important topic in digital banking. What it is? ATMs, attributed teller machine. Within ATMs, what all are the facilities given? That is IMPS, instant money payment system. How it is done? That also we have seen stepwise. There are 7 steps. Then we have seen what is meant by proprietary ATM. ATM within the premises and owned by that particular bank. Ground level ATM. There are 2 parties, service provider and sponsor bank. White label ATM, non-banking finance corporations are using this type of ATMs and charging from customers when they are having withdrawal of their money. On-site and off-site ATM. Many bankers don't just want to have profit from their customers walking into their banking premises. Facility of ATM to their potential customers. So it's 7 o'clock now and I will leave the meeting. Tomorrow we will have next subtopic of our digital banking. Okay. Thank you, students. Bye.